Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. and today I am playing Mythic Mischief solo. And no, I'm not going to be wearing this hat the whole video. This hat is just because it has Mythic Mischief on it. Although if I ever do go full stalker serial killer, I am definitely using this as my Joe hat. By the way, if you haven't been watching You on Netflix, one of the best shows ever. You should totally watch that. Not the point. So, Mythic Mischief. First of all, this is a solo play. If you haven't already, there is a solo play already done by Austin over on the Mythic Mischief channel, so you can go ahead and check that out over the IV Games channel. This is the, I think, second solo play that's on the internet, but you can go ahead and check it out. I'll walk you through the basics, how it works in case you are interested in Mythic Mischief solo. Speaking of which, Mythic Mischief, the Pledge Manager is still open now on the 31st, at the end of the month, October 31st. I believe on either October 31st or November 1st, they're going to start phasing out some of the Pledge options. So you'll still be able to get all the game content, but if you want like the big box that contains all the stuff, some things will not necessarily be available. So if you want your last chance to lock everything in, go ahead and check that out over on GameFound. I'll have a link in the description down below. This isn't paid or anything. This is just me wanting to play the game solo and telling you about your options to get the game. I love this game, by the way, but let's go ahead and get into it. And I'm realizing I forgot the little tomes for, give me a second, we need the tomes for that faction over there, because, here we go, perfect. I need the tomes for the AI faction. I didn't bring those tomes to the table. So, let's go ahead and get started over here. We're going to talk about how this game plays, what works, and all that stuff. And the basic idea is we are still playing. I'm missing the Tomekeeper too. This is embarrassing. So, basic idea is we are playing against an AI faction. That AI faction, their abilities do not matter. The only abilities that matter are our own. So we have our own abilities. We're playing as the witches in this case, one of my favorite factions. And what's happening here, let's put this off to the side because apparently I'll need it more than I thought I would. But basically, we'll put the Tomekeeper in the middle, as we normally would, and the Tomekeeper is currently heading towards that one spot. This, to a certain extent, assumes you know the basics of Mythic Mischief. Tomekeeper's heading over there. We're going to start on the board. I will take my turn putting my people on the board, and then I'll start trying to collect my tomes and leveling up while trying to ensure that the Tomekeeper, well, catches the enemy Mythics. But on their end, they have two priorities. They get points as they, another token is needed over there, they get points as they collect tomes, and as they have me captured. Now, we'll explain that sequencing as we go, but that's the main thing you need to know right now. Normally, you get points when you have Mythics captured. The enemy team gets points both when that happens, as well as when they collect tomes. So they don't really level up abilities, but they get points, which is arguably worse. Let's go ahead and jump into it and start this off. Now, ideally, I want my tomes, because that's how this game works. The Tomekeeper will be moving that away, so this tome is a safe one. As is this one. This tome is very much not a safe one. Now, the Tomekeeper does move 4 at the end of his turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is where it will go, which arguably makes this spot safe for me. But then on its next turn, it's going to come back down and go 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think in this case, given the construct, I actually think this is a fairly safe move. We will find out later if I am right or wrong. This one's not safe. That one is safe. We'll find out soon enough whether I am a little bit too cocky there. So, starting off, we'll go ahead. We did our turn, and this has a new little player aid down here showing you the way their turn's structured. We have our turn, which we just did. We didn't actually do that at all. We didn't even do our turn. What am I talking about? Let's go ahead and do our turn. That was just placement. So, I'm going to rotate down my movement to 1 to collect this tome. That will be my first tome. Then I'm going to rotate my movement down to 1 to collect that tome. That will be my second tome. And then over there, I don't know if I necessarily need to or want to move, although I should always be concerned about being pushed towards the Tomekeeper. And so to that end, I will move 1 further away as my last action over there. I don't really see a benefit of pushing their people around. I guess I could, but I don't really care. I'm not seeing a strong benefit to pushing their people, because I could push this one off to the side, but like I don't think it really does anything for me, so I'm not going to do that. Then again, I could move a wall, but I'm not going to do that right now, and those are all my options at the moment. So, with that done, we'll move to the Tomekeeper phase. Tomekeeper will go 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's locked in nicely over there, which means I am arguably in danger, but not quite just yet. Then we'll move to the Enchanted turn. On the Enchanted turn, the Enchanteds are going to move to try to, again, gather tomes if they can. Now, they don't have any tomes on the board at the start, so we are currently safe, but they will try to gather tomes otherwise. But in this case, because there are no tomes on the board, their second priority is trying to push me closer to the Tomekeeper. So each enchanted will try to move into a space with one of my mythics in order to push that mythic closer to the Tomekeeper. No one can reach this one, so that's not really relevant. This one, I guess we will go ahead and push this up one, pushing me closer to the Tomekeeper, although not really in terms of where the Tomekeeper is going to be moving, but closer nonetheless. This one is going to go 1, 2, pushing me there, and then 1, 2, 3, pushing me there. Now, each enchanted does have a movement of 3 for context, but that will push me. Again, it's a little tricky here because in pure distance of space, it brings me closer, but in terms of the pathway that the Tomekeeper will choose to take, it does not. But that can change. Oh, this one's going to have to move on its turn. We'll get to that. From there, we move to collect enchanted tomes for each enchanted. They get a point. The Tomekeeper phase and enchanted return. So we'll go ahead and move the Tomekeeper now. So Tomekeeper will go ahead and go 1, 2. Let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4 over here. So unfortunately on my space, which I didn't correctly predict that out. I should have, but I planned my move to get my last tome and didn't actually get my last tome. But with that, we will go ahead and draw an enchanted card. So now at the end, we're going to draw an attention card over here. The attention card will reveal how the cards play out. So the attention card reveals that the first card in the line is what's taken. Now, I don't have this in a line like this. I have it down here, but this is the first card. So we're going to activate this first card over here, and then we'll slide other cards up, and this card will enter the new slot. As far as what happens on this card, we'll go ahead and look at these zones. And I totally forgot to look at these zones, by the way, so I'm just lucky over here, but I totally forgot to take these into account because I'm just too focused on this video. This zone over here is where any mythics would be caught. Mythics have to be mindful of this zone down here. This zone down here is where mythics would be able to no longer move next turn. They'd be turned on their side, they cannot move. And then these two zones are where we're going to generate enemy tomes, which is on my space there and on my space there, which is something to take into account. And that's how we play out that card, and then we'll move it up here into the discard pile. So with that, we now have, well, our turn. So, oh, and small little detail, we're supposed to resolve the enchanters in a specific order. I didn't actually do them in the specific order. That can have a difference on how things play out. I don't think it did this past turn, but it certainly can. In any case, let's go ahead and take my turn. Oh, I need to slot my tomes. I forgot to do that. I also get to boost. So I always like getting an extra movement. The movement flexibility that you get from a single movement is really huge in this game. So I always go for that. We have 2 and 3. Then from there, I don't currently have the ability to move them that much, which would probably be nice. But like, I don't know if I can't swap them to the other side of me, which is really unfortunate right now. That Tomekeeper will be moving 1, 2, 3 to get down, which I think, let's just make sure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, it will be moving down like this to get to over there, at least as of right now. Now, whether we can change that is a different conversation entirely, but I don't love the way my people are positioned. That said, I think I do like wall maneuvering, although this over here, now that's a 1 there. I think we'll give myself that wall maneuvering. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I want the Tomekeeper to be over there. The way you win, by the way, is either getting 10 points or having the most points when you get to the end of the second phase, the after lunch phase. In any case, that's that over there. I do have 2 boosts. I could use them on movement, which feels a little boring. I could use them on moving their Tomekeepers, which doesn't feel like I have the flexibility I really want to be able to do that. So I don't love that. I really want to be able to move walls, but again, not relevant. I think I'm just going to go ahead and boost Tomekeeper movement because that might be the way to go. Because I think if I do this right, I can possibly screw with them. Possibly. If I go here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be the way to go. Interesting. So I think I want to pull the Tomekeeper closer towards me, which means I need to get out of there too. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. So we're going to start off with a distract. We're going to rotate that down to 1, pull the Tomekeeper closer towards me. That also will give me access to that tome I wanted. We will go ahead and, oh, that could be interesting. That could be interesting. I like the idea of that. We're going to go 1, 2, 3 down there. Okay, that brings us to 1, 2, 3. And then we will transport this wall from this witch to that witch. That's the wall, the witch's ability. Oh, that's not a good thing because that will make the Tomekeeper path longer. What can I do over here? I don't want the Tomekeeper path to be actually longer because I want them going down. So maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I'll just go 1, 2, 3 like I originally planned. That's safer. It's not as fun, but it is safer. But then I also could choose to move one of them up, but it won't help me not enough. Okay, we'll go ahead and we'll drag. Nope. Okay, fine. I can't do that. I could grab this one. Ooh, this is a good idea. I'm going to lock that off. I will go ahead and move that wall. So I already wrote that down. I'm going to move this wall down here, making it harder for them to get that tome. If I can delay it until after lunch, that could be work for me, especially in that corner. That could arguably be good. And then from there, I have 2 movement, which I'll go 1, 2, down to over here in order to grab that tome. So I now have an extra tome there. I moved on to rubble. Rubble costs you an extra movement to move on to. And then I don't have anything else to do except for possibly moving them. I do not want to move them into the Tomekeeper because, well, that wouldn't help me because I don't want them to get the tome. I guess I will go ahead and... No, I want to leave them there. I don't want to mess with it. I don't want to mess with it. Why mess with perfection? I could slide him down here. I don't know if it does anything for me. I don't think I'll bother. I could pull a distract one more. Let me just do some quick math. If I pull the Tomekeeper one more towards me, which I'm going to do, because why not, then it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, I could get 2 of them. Okay, so that wall, I will move it down here like I originally talked about, because watch what happens here. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Beautiful. Okay, so I actually could do it that way. So I'm moving it over here. They'll get that tome, but I'll get 2 of them on the way. So that will be nice. So now at the end of my turn, we'll go ahead and move the Tomekeeper, and the Tomekeeper will go 1, 2, 3, 4. Trying to get both of those, and I go up 2 points. That was very satisfying. But before you get too impressed with my devious play against an AI opponent, understand that once again, I completely forgot to pay attention to these cards. Fortunately, it does not look like I'm in any of the death zones, although that can of course change before it gets to my turn. So let's go ahead and roll to return the enemy mythics to the board. This is the first time you're seeing this. We're going to roll a die, and on a 4 over here, we will add the mythic to the green spot first, which means it's going to be added over here, and then we're going to roll again for another one. That's, well, we roll over here, and we get a 5, which is not relevant there, and then a, well, we do have a 5, sorry, we do have a 5. 5 will go over there, over here. So I'm sandwiched between the 2 of them over there. And now they will take their turn. Once again, their first goal is to gather a tome if they are able to. And this time we will go ahead and look at their enchanted turn order card, which shows that you activate them bottom to top, left to right, which means this one will activate first. He will walk into my space to gather the tome, and then he always pushes you closest to the Tomekeeper. So this is one of those times where you're actually going to do both objectives. His primary objective is gathering a tome so that he can get a point, which is unfortunate. I gave him a point by going for the capture there. It is what it is. And then, and the truth is, he would have gotten it anyway, so I'm happy I did that. And then secondly, from there, we go ahead to the next one, which will again move down and stop and collect the tome. Strictly speaking, you don't collect the tome until the end, but I know what I'm doing there, so I'll remember that part. And then this one, it will try to move me closer to the Tomekeeper because there is no tome they can reach. And so to that end, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they're going to go 1, 2, and push me that way over there. By the way, once again, I forgot to slot my tomes and upgrade my stuff. We'll take care of that right now. So that is their turn. The Tomekeeper will move, but I'll go ahead and upgrade my stuff over here. I have 1 extra stat, which I think I would like to get that wall pushed because otherwise my wall goes down to 0. And then from there I get 2 boosts. And I could boost the wall moving twice. I think that has been very helpful for me. So I think I will go ahead and... or do I want to distract the Tomekeeper? That also has been potentially helpful in accelerating endgame. But I think I want to go ahead and do... It's so hard. I think I need to get to the rush. Okay, fine. We're going to go ahead and boost this one over here. So we have 2 wall boosts. Nope, I'm actually going to go with the Tomekeeper boost again. So now I have the ability to boost the Tomekeeper again. We'll reset my dice to the 2s and 3s. 2 and 3. And then go into this. And so Tomekeeper goes ahead and moves their turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we have that second one off the board now, which is helpful for accelerating endgame. Then we'll go ahead and we're done with the Tomekeeper. No enchanted return at this point, again, following that card. And then we go ahead and draw a card. Let's see what happens over here. We have the middle card over here. So I'm not hit by any of these bad things. I am neither in the lower quadrant, nor am I in the, well, I'm in neither of the 2 bottom quadrants. So I'm safe over there. Let's put this one down here. And then let's set 2 new tomes on the board, one over here and one over here. This one might be harder for them to get, but probably not. You see, the sad reality is as you kill the enchanted, you're effectively adding them back to the board, which means they are just very, very strong and solid. They will have very few misses, and you have to be on point every single turn to actually make this work. So, time for my turn of attempting to be on point. Tomekeeper is heading that way as of right now, which we like that. I'm okay with that plan over here. We could potentially try to do some things, but I don't have good ideas just yet. So if we get the Tomekeeper to go up that way, that can certainly have an impact. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we do a distract, that could potentially help. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we'll go ahead and distract the Tomekeeper. Oh, there's a wall there. That's unfortunate. I just can't see the wall from the stance of that person there. So 1, 2. I have 5 movement. 1, 2. That could work. 1, 2. That could work. But it doesn't work the way I like it to. Don't love this. We could force the Tomekeeper into an alternate path by moving a wall. That is definitely true. Or we could try... I only have 1 wall shift, unfortunately, which will make it hard. I could just try to stop the enchanted from getting a tome, but that's not good enough. This is tough. How do I get the Tomekeeper to go ahead and take that? We could go 1, 2. No, that's not pleasant at all. Nope, not gonna work. I don't love this. I do not love this one bit. Okay, let's start with the following. We can go ahead and shove this person down here. So let's go ahead and shove this person down. No, it won't work. 1, 2. I only have 5 movement. That's my problem. I have 5 movement and I need more than that. Unless we went ahead. Nope. Okay, let's see what we can do over here. Let's go 1, 2, 3 over there. And then let's move this wall over here. Okay, that means the Tomekeeper's now heading that way. We'll see whether this benefits me or not. We'll do what we can over here. Then we'll go ahead and use our 2 distract, 1, 2. And we'll go ahead and move the Tomekeeper 1, 2, because now it has to head that way. So now it's going 1, 2, 3, 4, which is decent, but not the best. I would love it if I could, well, have them do more, but I don't think I can. What I can do, I used 3 movement, by the way. I should go ahead and track that. Also, I have my special ability here, which could arguably be helpful, but I don't think I need to in this case. Maybe I do. Maybe I need to. You know what? Maybe that's the right move. Using my special ability will result in 2 of them being captured, so I guess I want to do that. Yeah. Okay. Let's do it, maybe. Feels a little weak, but we're fine. Okay, we will rearrange 2 bookshelves and 1 clutter anywhere in the library. So to that end, what we'll do now is we'll move this bookshelf over here, 2 bookshelves and 1 clutter. So that bookshelf over there helps, as well as throwing this bookshelf over here. That locks off that tome from being that accessible. And then clutter-wise, I think we'll make that tome even less accessible by throwing this clutter over here. Okay, so what we've effectively done is we've made it so that that is a very hard spot to get to. Then we'll move this one over here, which will allow us to move this one down over here, and that will result in 2 tomes being captured and 1 of them being done. I did have to give up one of my specials for that, which is not as pleasant as you might think, but it might be the right move. From there, we'll go ahead and move the Tomekeeper. Tomekeeper is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, getting awfully close to round 3, which is very helpful because it does mean we have a little more control of, well, not having them do whatever. I will move up 2 points over there, and that is my turn, and we now move to the spawning them again. So we have nothing over there. We have a 5, which will again go over here, too close to the tome, not happy with that. Then we've got to roll again. We have a 2. 2 will go, based on this chart over here, down over here. I love that. I love that. Okay, well, I mostly love it because they're going to try to push me into the Tomekeeper, and I forgot that will totally, absolutely happen right now. Also, once again, not paying attention to my quadrants at all, and yeah, that could be a problem over here. Whatever. It is what it is. So let's go ahead and do that. We now go ahead and do the enchanted turn. The enchanted will go. So they're going to go ahead and this one, well, bottom left. So this one can't get past Tomekeeper. His best move is to go 1, 2, 3 and push me into the Tomekeeper spot. This one will go ahead and go, well, we go bottom left. So this one will now activate. We'll go 1, locking that in. This one cannot get to its tome. I did prevent them from doing that. So it'll then go 1, 2. That's interesting. So here's a bit of an AI question over here. I actually have to ask. So I'm going to play this out, but this is the first time that's happened where the Enchanted's goal is, the Enchanted's stated goals are to gather the tome. Okay, they gather tomes first, then to knock me into the path of the Tomekeeper, and then to stay away from the Tomekeeper. Those are their stated goals. What's interesting is I'm going to play by the rule of death here. The rule of death is from Kingdom Death Monster. It's the idea that you always do things that are worse for the players. Strictly speaking, based on what I know about the solo mode, he should move here and knock me closer to the Tomekeeper. That will result in me being captured and him being captured. I'm not going to do that because either way I would be captured. So him putting himself in danger for no reason, while strictly speaking might work, seems counterintuitive. So I'm going to not do that. Understand that I'm not sure what the right play is there. Instead, I'll go through his next goal, which is to move as far away as possible from the Tomekeeper, which I think that will go there based on the sequence of play. So that's, well, I don't know why I moved 4, 3, moving 3. So again, might be playing that wrong, making it slightly harder for myself, but that's much more fun that way. From there, we'll go ahead and move the Tomekeeper. Tomekeeper will go 1, 2, 3. And then once it hits its third goal, it tries to return back to the middle. That's always the Tomekeeper's goal over there. So we've now done that. And then we go ahead and give them a point for that. And then they also gather a tome. So they're still up a point. They're still neck and neck with me. This is not good. And then we have to draw the after lunch card. So we draw the after lunch card, which is nice because we will go ahead and resolve this. So after lunch card will take place. We will move these zones on the board. And we'll go 1, 2, and 3 over here. Okay. And then we will put out new tomes on the board for myself, where I will get 1, 2, and 3 up over there. Okay, so that's over there. This tome gets removed from the board, so it's protected and hard to get to, although that's just a hard to get to spot in general now. And then we go ahead and reveal the detention card to figure out whether I also die down here, which sadly is likely. But I die. Okay, go ahead, we die. That's just not fun. That's just not cool. Now they're winning now, which is not as much fun. I like this game much better a minute ago. And we go ahead and we add 2 tomes to the board. Fortunately, we add a tome in the hard to get to spot, and then we add a tome down over here. And nothing. Oh, wait, no, I activated. Yeah, sorry. I did that correctly. No, I did it incorrectly. We're supposed to activate that card. So these tomes don't go there. These tomes go on the Tomekeeper and over here. So this card activates this card, which is why my Tomekeeper down here died. These cards slide up, and then we put this Tomekeeper down here, and this goes into the discard pile. So now we move to the Enchanted. I get to respawn on the board to take my turn, which is great because I like taking turns in this game. It's helpful. It's fun. It's fun. I can't go here because there's a Tomekeeper over there. I do have a tome over here, but I can't go there. I could go here, which might be the best thing to do because it still is my turn. Tomekeeper's trying to head down there, which is not the worst. I could make their path easier or harder. I actually like the idea of going over here because that would force them to go that way, which is helpful. Also, as usual, at the end of my turn, I forgot to reset my dice. So let's go ahead and reset my dice with a boost as well. I should really start doing this properly in the right sequence because I actually do know how to play this game. Just you may not look like it from the way I'm doing this. Once again, I want to go with the Tomekeeper boost. I think I do want to go with the Tomekeeper boost over there. So we're sticking with that strategy. It's worked out well for me so far. And I think I want to... If I go down there, I could skip the tome entirely. I could do that, though. That might be helpful. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 movements, so I can go 1, 2, 3, 4. That could be useful. So watch. We'll go over here like so. 1. But then we'll move this wall over here for 2. So that gives me my wall shift, forcing the Tomekeeper to go that way. And Tomekeeper only moves 3, unfortunately. The good news is what we can do is we can go... And that's 2 movements so far. Okay, that's 1 movement so far. I don't know why I said 2. that can result in the Tomekeeper going, we're going to activate this person to go 1. That's going to reduce that to 1. And then 2, reduce it to 0. So he's now captured. That will be a point for me. I'm catching up. Woohoo! And then he will now move 1, 2, 3, which is helpful, but also not. And so I have 4 movement left to utilize. So what will I do with my 4 movement? I think to begin with, I will end up over here instead. So when I went down there, I will move 1 further before putting the wall down, which I can do. That reduces my movement down 1, because I think the next step, Tomekeeper on my turn will go 1, 2, 3, which is a little bit nerve-wracking based on what I'm doing. But you know what? I think I will stay here, and then I'll do the following. So with my 4 movement left, I will go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I gather a tome, and that's my movement down to 0. I need to buff my movement. I could really use some more movement right now. I need more flexibility. But on the way, while I'm over here, when I'm back over here, what I'll do is, so I will go ahead and rotate this down to move this person over here. Okay, you might imagine why I'm able to do that, utilizing my enchant over there to move them closer. I enchanted the enchanters. And then, from there, I believe that's my full turn. I've collected only 1 tome, but we are forcing the Tomekeeper to go into the path of another one of them. So 1, 2, 3, gathering 1 more of them, and that puts me another point ahead, which is, for the moment, a good thing, although I do get hit by 2 of these cards. So, yeah, we'll see how that plays out for us. That represents my turn. We'll go ahead and slot my stuff over here. So I think I need that extra movement. That extra movement has really been a problem, so I am going to give myself that extra movement. We'll bump these up over here, 3 and 4. I now have 2 extra movement, which is very helpful. We get 1 over there, and then we get 1 over there, and this time do we want to boost the Tomekeeper? It has worked out well for us, but I think at this point, these are hard choices. Hard choices indeed. I think we'll move it down over there. I think we will boost the Tomekeeper. No. Yes, I think we will. Okay, fine. We're boosting the Tomekeeper again. Great. Fine. That is my turn. We go ahead and roll to put the enchanted back on the board. We have a 3, which will be down over here, but it can't, so it goes to the next 3, which is over here, which it can't, so we roll again. Then we go to a 4, which is over here. I like that one. And then we roll for the next one, and we get a 4, which it can't, so it moves to the next 4, which is over here. I don't like that one. That one's way too safe and right next to a tome. So unfortunately, it looks like they'll get 2 points on their turn, which now we move to their turn. They will move. So going left to right, this one can get a tome, unfortunately. Then this one over here can get a tome, unfortunately. And this one will move me into the closest space next to the Tomekeeper, which is not enough to damage me, fortunately, because of the fact that the Tomekeeper is not actually going to head my way. From there, we go ahead and move the enchanted the Tomekeeper down. Now, what's interesting here is to get down here, it's 1, 2. It has to go that way. Oh, that's so interesting. That is interesting. So basically, even though this collected a tome, you put yourself into the path of danger. But the priority there is to collect the tome. So 1, 2, 3. That is the fastest way to get down here because of the way the wall's positioned and because of the way the clutter is positioned. So 1, 2, 3 is the fastest way to get that, which means you do get your tome, fortunately. So you go up 2 points for your tomes that you collected, but then you go down a point for losing a person, which is the first time I've seen that happen. And then that's the Tomekeeper phase. After the Tomekeeper phase, we again roll to return the enchanted to the board. And we get on the 1 spot, which will be over here. I don't like how safe those people are. That is not helpful for me. Not helpful. And then we draw a card. And the card will be the middle card, which fortunately, because you pushed me out of the way, thank you. Thank you, I appreciate it. They pushed me out of the way of the middle. So we're going to activate this middle card, slide this one up, and then we'll go to activating this card over here. The middle row is safe. The right row is safe. We do put 2 tomes on the board. Unfortunately, one is over here. And this one's over here. That one's not as scary. This one can just be taken, unless I mess with people. I don't know if I can mess with people enough, unfortunately. So that will be that, and now it's back to our turn. For the first time ever, we successfully boosted our stuff at the right point. It is after lunch. I forgot about that. So we have this one over here. Drop Bewitch under a witch. Anyone on this space cannot be moved off it. So I can use Bewitch to save myself, which could be relevant. For right now, the important thing is that the Tomekeeper is still going 1, 2, 3 over there, which means I have to try to adjust its movement path, which seems like it would be harder than it usually is right now. That seems like it would be harder than it usually is, unless unless we send it in a straight line that way, that could be potentially relevant. Let's see what we can do. We have the movement. We have the power. So if we go 1, 2, and I'm not going to rework this turn 14 times because I just want to do it. So 1, 2, 3, actually 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's 6 movement. So we're going to move down 6 movement, down to 0. Okay, down to 1, I mean. Okay, that's 6 movement. Collecting a tome along the way, by the way. And then we will use our wall shift to go... Is that enough to help me? I don't know if it's enough to help me. It's going to force the Tomekeeper back there, but I can go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. It's not enough to help me. Let's do the following. Let's undo that right there. We'll get back our movement. Yeah, it's unfortunate. 2, 3, and then 4. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to shove the Tomekeeper, shove this guy over here, 1 that away. Okay, using our push over there. And then, from there, we can use distract twice to go 1, 2, and the Tomekeeper will go 1, 2 into his spot. So we do get our point that way. It's helpful to get a point. We need to do it to stay ahead of them. The main problem is I don't see a way to stop them from getting their tomes over there. I could... No, it's not going to help. It's not going to help. There's no way to stop them from getting their tomes. So... Oh, man. They'll get that tome over there. That's fine. Okay, it is what it is. The Tomekeeper is going to go 1, 2, 3, and that's fine. We're safe over there. I think we will go 1, 2 to stay as far away as possible. That's going to be movement there. Then we will... I probably should pay attention to these cards. This corner is dangerous. That center line is dangerous. And the top corner is dangerous. So let's go ahead and go... Let us go... Oh, man. I think we'll go 1 up here. This will go down to a 3 over here. And that's out of the center line there. And then we want to move this one out of the center line as well, which is important. So I think the only way to do that is when this person is here, we will move this wall. Okay, that's going to be our wall movement. And then it'll continue. And then you'll go 1. That's 1, 2, 2. And we can't get our tome, unfortunately. Not if we want to stay out of the center line, which I think we do. So that last movement will be wasted-ish. I think it'll be wasted. I think so. I think the only thing we might do different... No, it's fine. It's wasted. Okay, cool. That's our turn. So that's our turn. We'll go ahead and slot our tome. I think I really want some more wall movement at this point. I am making use of that over there, which does unfortunately hurt my ability to get more of that. But it is what it is. Do I not have another tome? We have 1 tome there. Did I not collect 2 tomes this round? I feel like I should have had 2 tomes this round. Or did I get 1 last round? I don't remember. Okay, so we got 4 in the first phase. I don't remember. I'm lost track of what's going on. Is there a missing tome here? It's okay. We'll just keep going forward. So anyways, we will go ahead now and roll to put the Tomekeeper back on the board. To put the Enchanted back on the board. The Enchanted will go over here. Way too close to the tome. I don't appreciate that. And then we'll move to their turn. So... in this case, they will go ahead and push me like this. Did I move the Tomekeeper? I did not move the Tomekeeper. 1, 2, 3. They'll go ahead and push me like this, closer to the Tomekeeper, while getting their tome. That's the first one that activates. This one is just going to move me close to the Tomekeeper, because that's what it can do. And then this one will go 1, 2, and they're going to get 2 points that way, which I totally do not appreciate. We'll go ahead and give them their 2 points. And he also pushed me back into the center, which I did not think about, but I should have. That's on me. To be very clear, that's on me. Okay, from there, we'll go ahead and activate the Tomekeeper. Tomekeeper will go 1, 2, 3, and that's gone. We need to stay ahead of these people. They are dangerous. Dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. We remove their tomes from the board, and we will draw a card. I did not slot these once again. I didn't do the boost. I'll do that. Okay, we're going to activate the first card. Okay, these cards slide up. We also have the arrows, which is the first time we're seeing those. Those will push us around the board. First card means we're safe, and we put out 2 tomes. 1 over here, which we can probably stop them from getting, and 1 over here, which we probably can't stop them from getting. So that's going to be a free point for them right there. Okay, we're making good progress. We'll go ahead and boost this to a 3. Not boost. We're going to turn that to a 3, turn that to a 4. We have a 1 over here. We're going to boost our walls all the way up to 3 wall maneuvers. So we now have 3 wall maneuvers and only 1 distract. A slightly different set than we usually have. Good news is Tomekeeper will go 1, 2, 3, and then up to there. So if I use my distract right now, which I will, Tomekeeper now moves there, which means they're going to move over there, which is helpful to me. That is helpful. So we have one person who is fortunately dead. Are they dead? Not necessarily. Not necessarily, but they could be if we move this wall. They could be if we move the wall. So I think we have to move the wall then. Because otherwise, yeah, I think we have to move the wall. So we'll go ahead and we will go here. This actually is not the worst thing to do. We'll go there. That's one movement. Then we'll move the wall down over here. Okay. Which is another, our first wall manipulation. That forces the Tomekeeper to continue going that way, which is good for us. We like that. That is helpful. I still have more wall movement if I want to, but I don't know if I necessarily need to. But I like the idea of them being trapped there, of them being unable to scurry out, so to speak. So that is, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, we have 2 more wall movements should we choose to use them, which could be utilized because I will use 1 wall movement here to put this over here, which is silly, but then I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be 4 movement, because I actually don't need a lot of movement this round. And I now have a tome, and then we'll use our last wall movement to push that right back. Oh no! Okay, so that results in us gathering a tome. We still have 2 movement left if we choose to use it, which we definitely will as far as... Oh, that's a little bit of an issue. He's a little bit in trouble. We'll go down 1, 2, which is fine. And while I'm at it, do I want to do anything with... Nah, I don't really care about that. Fine, we're good to go. We are good to go. We will go ahead and move the Tomekeeper. 1, 2, 3. That one's dead. Fortunately, we get a point. It's neck and neck. They may win. They may just win over here. It's going to be close. It's going to come down to that wire. Especially because they're going to spawn in a second. And let's go ahead and find out how that works. They are spawning on 2. 2 is over here. The second 2 is over here. That is how we lose the game, by the way. Right there, that's when we lost the game, that spawn over there. Then we will go ahead and activate their turn. As you might imagine... Oh wait, where are the tomes? Where are the tomes on the board? Did I not put tomes on the board? I did not put their tomes. No, I did. It's right there and there. I put them on the board. So, he can get to his tome, which is his first priority. Which means they win. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. It's so close. But here, watch. 1, 2... He gathers his tome, this one stays here, and that's all they need to do. They now gather 2 points, and they get to the end before I do. Right before I had them trapped like little rats in a corner. That is Mythic Mischief solo. That is a solo play of Mythic Mischief. It is tough. You can make this game a bit easier by moving their movement down to only 2. You can make this game harder by moving their movement up to 3. Either way, you're gonna lose. But it's a very tight puzzle. The biggest issue I have with it is it feels like you can rarely ever fully protect the tomes. You can only delay how long it takes till the tomes are gathered, but it is a tight puzzle. So for context, I already have content on this game. I love Mythic Mischief, amazing experience. Playing it solo is fun. I find it a good way to hone your skills to get better at following the sequencing of moving, but it's one of those things where I 100% prefer this as a 2-player experience, but the solo is actually quite a fun, tight little puzzle. It feels like you're fighting something inevitable. You just have to be better at your game than they are at theirs. That's how you win. They are going to chug along and gather points. That's happening. That's not the question. But how well you manage to stay ahead, like if I had stayed ahead by 1 more point, if I had avoided 1 more capture, they'd be over here right now and they'd be trapped. I would be able to get my remaining 2 points just fine if I had stayed ahead by 1 point. So you really have to be on top of every aspect of the game in order to win, practically. And if you move this movement up to 4, you're never going to win. I don't know how it would ever actually happen. But either way, that's Mythic Mischief. Once again, this is available on GameFound if you want to check it out. Again, Pledge Manager is going to be open for a while. I don't know how much longer, but if you want specific items, those are probably wrapping up fairly soon. Until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, have a good one.